right, we live now.
All
So
right.
I'm not even sure what episode we're on, but I want to tell y'all this episode is definitely special to me because what we've been friends since what 2011,
Yeah, no, I think 2010.
2010,
Uh-huh.
because that's what class do we have Dr. M. Singy in?
That was, I can't remember, some health class. I don't
Yeah,
remember any of my health classes.
that I still talk about him to this day because that was hilarious the way he did us. So Dr. M. Singy, he was sneaky and quiet. So
Hmm.
most of the people in class had other stuff going on besides paying attention to his class. So what he would do is he would write down everything you're doing not related to the class and take out for it at the end of the year. I
Yeah.
remember I had either A or a B in his class, but then after he totaled all the stuff he was taking off from, it went down to a C. I was so mad. He wrote down every single thing he was doing. Matter of fact, one time he even wrote down the book I was reading that had nothing to do with his class. I was hot. Did did he get you like that too?
He didn't get me like that, but I think I managed to get a B out of his class. But I do remember him being very sneaky. But he was, I don't know, his class was, I don't, it was, I don't know.
Yeah.
He made the class easy to where you could do other other work, outside of his work. So,
Yeah, he made it easy, but he also didn't care for you doing the stuff outside of what he had going on. That's my little sister Victoria waving. So
hey.
if nobody else watching, Victoria's gonna be in here. So definitely appreciate you, little sister. So I can see when people comment and stuff like that, but other than that, I never know who's actually in here. But
Mhm.
I want to introduce Miss Noel.
Hello,
Like I said,
everyone.
we've been friends for a good little while, and it's been a while since we actually seen each other in person. But like most people that I'm actually cool with, it doesn't take us actually seeing each other to be friends
Hmm.
because like I from a distance, this is another reason why this episode came out. This episode is over traveling. I would see all her traveling adventures like, man, I wish I can go do that. Man, I wish I had enough time to go do that. So I mean, like I definitely miss being able to just get on the road and just go. So
Hmm.
yeah, so that's what we're talking about tonight, just traveling. I meant to bring it in here, but I don't have it in here with me. One of the earliest memories I have, just being intrigued with traveling,
Hmm.
is I want to say my dad, but it could have been my mom. They bought a globe. It was a big blue globe. I'll never forget it. And I would just look at that globe and just spin it. It's like, man, they got all these different countries. Like, I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to go here. Like, to this
Yeah.
day, I've only been to Mexico so far, but I definitely want to see all these different countries, at least some of them. Because I want to
Hmm.
say, I could be wrong, and I could look it up right now. Do you know how many countries they have? I think it's like 175 or something.
215, right? I'm not sure.
See, I know it's a lot, but most people I know that travel, they only go to just Mexico. Like
Yeah.
there's more countries out there than just Mexico. Like nothing's wrong with Mexico. You probably gonna go to a different part every time, but
Hmm.
like my dad was a truck driver, so at a young age I visited every southern state. I've been to Utah, been to Colorado, been like Arkansas, New Mexico. I've been to all of those, and I always wanted to go with him to Canada because he'd been in Canada before, but I didn't get a chance
Hmm.
to do that with him. Like, what's your earliest memory with traveling?
So my earliest memory is traveling with family. So we would
Mm-hmm.
take road trips when I
Mm-hmm.
was younger, and so they would be some of them would be long, but it was definitely like I loved it. We used to take road trips to Florida quite often, right
Mm-hmm.
there in the Panhandle to go to the beach. We would take road trips even locally or within the state. So going to San Antonio to SeaWorld and Schlitterbahn and
Mm-hmm.
then driving out to Galveston, and then we've taken road trips to Wisconsin to visit family and kind of hang out up there. So that is like the earliest memories I have of like traveling is with traveling with my family. So I've always enjoyed those.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I remember because with me, long road trips just put me to sleep if I'm not driving. So I'll be in the back of my dad's 18 wheeler
Uh-huh.
and I'll be looking out the window, and all of a sudden, so most of the trip to our destination, I'll be asleep. And I wake up in another country. I'm not in another country, but in another state.
Uh-huh.
So I still remember like the truck stops we would stop at. Now, this how young I was. It's gonna sound real stupid when I say it out loud, but it was true and it was funny.
Mhm.
So we was at this truck stop in California, my first time going to California,
Mhm.
and they had on the menu a date shake. I didn't even know what a date was. I didn't know it was a
Mhm.
fruit. So I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking in my little mind, oh, they're gonna have alphabets. Like you never remember like the alphabet soup?
Yeah.
I thought they was gonna have alphabets in the shake. I was like, oh, how's that gonna work? I I thought it was funny because I don't know what made me think that those two went together. But it was actually pretty good, and I've actually made a smoothie with dates recently.
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, it's so there was a recipe for a pineapple upside down smoothie, and it called
Mhm.
for dates,
Oh, okay.
pineapple,
Okay.
oatmeal, and coconut milk,
Mhm.
and it came out pretty good.
I've never had a date smoothie, but if it tasted kind of like pineapple upside down cake, then I imagine it was probably good then.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what I do in my pastime. And I said this before I ever met my wife. I hope she didn't like my experiments because I like experimenting in the kitchen because it's so much that besides the U.S. Besides
Mhm.
what we used to eating like food wise, so I like to
Oh, of course.
experiment with stuff.
Of course, and if you travel, I mean, you have to be open to that. I know
Hmm.
people who I have traveled with someone who has like they don't like anything outside of like American style food, and so that makes it
Mm.
extremely hard because if I'm in a different country, I don't want to go to McDonald's. I mean, I've
Mm-mm.
heard the McDonald's in like Paris or something was good, but still, I don't want to go to McDonald's. Like,
Yeah.
I want to, if I'm in Paris, I want to try Parisian food. If I'm in, Asia, I want to try the Asian foods there, all around. So definitely have to be open to trying different foods.
Yeah, but I have seen some of them that the food is covered in flies. I'm just gonna pass by that one. 'Cause I've seen that one because whenever they first talked about the COVID coming here, they was showing like the Asian markets was covered in flies, and they was serving up anaconda and stuff. Like, nah, I'm good. I'm pass on that one.
Okay, I've been to the Asian market because I've been over there in that country. Some of them are like that, but it's not all of them that are like that. And I was in I was in Cambodia, and part of the experience was that they would stop by some of these markets, and some of them are like not even markets, just like street vendors. Like as you're driving, if you're driving to a location or a destination, you'll see someone just randomly like cooking food on the side of the road, and you can stop and get it. They don't have to have
Mm.
food permits. I don't think they don't have to have food permits, so you can just if you're hungry and that's the only thing available, you just stop and get it. But they do take people around to different like stands because they do serve bugs essentially.
Mm.
They serve spiders, they like the tarantulas, they serve crickets are popular. They serve, now this was disgusting, but they do serve rats.
Mm.
Um, they serve what else? Um, yeah, just all kind of bugs. Like they cook it. I guess they catch them and then they cook it and then season it up to their seasonings and then people buy
Mm.
them and eat them. I didn't try any of that. I was like, nope. And my stomach is
Mm.
like, I don't want. I'm not
Mm.
vaccinated for y'all, stuff, diseases and stuff y'all have over here. So, um, I'm not gonna try any bugs. I'll stick to the food, the safe foods,
Mm.
um, that are cooked in a restaurant.
I
But
remember.
I did try. They had it's called sticky mango rice, I believe, or sticky
Mm.
rice, and that was actually pretty good. It was a street vendor as we were driving. He was set up on the side of the road selling that. So
Mm.
tried that. Um, what else? Yeah. So I mean, they they do sell it, but it's not like the whole like all of it.
Mm. I remember my college colleague at U of H. He
Hmm.
was he was just curious, so I didn't take offense to it. He was asking me like black stereotypical questions,
Hmm.
like, but he wasn't trying to be offensive or anything. So I would answer him. Then I say, all right, since we're on the subject, because he was Korean, I said, do you really eat dog? And he was like, yeah, we eat dog soup. And I didn't even like I've heard of people eating it, but I didn't know it was a real thing. But yeah, they got people that really do eat that as a part of their culture.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy. And I kind of wondered the same thing over there. I never did get around to asking anybody when I was over there, but at the same time, I saw a lot of stray dogs walking around. So
Mm,
they have a lot of stray dogs. But I feel like anytime I go out the country, like even in Mexico, they have a lot of stray dogs over there too. So, like if you go outside of the resort town and stuff,
mm.
you see a lot of dogs walking around. And I just sometimes I don't get that. I don't know why there's so many stray dogs. I don't know if people just keep them for a certain amount of time and then they just let them go, get rid of them, and dump them on the street. I don't know, but
I don't know. Let's see. Like I was saying off air, there's 18 essential things that they say you're supposed to bring with you or never forget when you're traveling. So we're
mm-hmm.
gonna see how many of these that you usually bring with you. Um, the one number one is a given: wallet and passport holder.
Yeah,
That's a given.
mm-hmm.
Phone charger and adapter.
Yeah,
That's a given.
mm-hmm.
Reusable water bottle.
No.
That's not a
Well, I take that back. So, well, if I'm going to a beach, I will take it, but it won't be for water. Let's just say
nah,
that.
hey, yeah, I got you. All right. Number four, this is definitely a popular one right now. Hand sanitizer.
Yes,
All
definitely.
right. Skincare products.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a given.
Yep.
This well, we got phones now, but it says a camera.
Uh, yes, I do still pack a camera. I have a camera I take. So I usually save those for like big trips. Like if I am going out of the country somewhere I haven't been, um,
Mm,
like sometimes I don't want to capture everything on the phone. I want to actually use a camera.
mm.
So I have a nice digital camera that I use
All
to take
right.
photos.
Yeah, we have one, but we never remember to bring it. So I'm gonna next time we go somewhere, I'm gonna definitely make sure we bring it because we got it, and we even have the little selfie stick. And every
Hmm.
time we go somewhere, oh, it's still at home. Well, ain't gonna do no good there.
Yeah,
All right.
I know people bring their phones, but sometimes like bringing an act if you're able to bring an actual camera is a little bit better than using your phone.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Definitely comes out better sometimes.
hmm.
Travel journal and pen.
No.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I never done that either. Walking shoes.
Uh, depends on where I'm going and
Mm-hmm.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy, so most of my shoes are walking shoes. So that's kind
Yeah.
of pajamas.
Yes, of course.
Hmm. Let's see. This is a given. Sunglasses,
Yes,
definitely a given. This one's a given too. Headphones.
yes,
I mean, got them in your ear now, so yeah.
yeah. I got them in my ear.
Uh, this is says weather dependent items. So I guess waterproof stuff. But this, oh no, this is an umbrella.
No.
Umbrella. No umbrella. Cause you
Mm-mm.
can't carry that on a plane. Or maybe you can.
No, you
Um.
can, but I don't. Like if it rains and I just really need something, I'll go get a poncho
Hmm.
from the Walmart or something, like, or some type of convenience store that they have bodega, whatever. Like I don't usually carry that.
Hmm. All right. A travel pillow.
Uh, Sometimes.
I've used one before, but I don't know. I still don't get all that comfortable with it. A toiletry bag.
I do.
All right. First aid kit. Nah. Yeah.
You consider
No.
first aid. Like I carry medicines like Advil and
Mm.
Seltzer and vitamin pills, but that's about it.
Do you ever? I don't remember what the name of it now. Do you ever? Do you ever get motion sickness in the air? No. Me. I haven't got that yet either. And it say number 16 is a travel wrap or a scarf.
For me, yes, it's necessary. I need a scarf for my hair.
Hmm. And it says 17 is a book or e-reader.
Um, iPad.
Yeah. And number 18 is lip balm. Yeah, I gotta carry that too, because if I don't, my wife's gonna tell me how crusty my lips are. So I definitely gotta keep that. So she definitely keep me on my toes with that. Um, now, as far as the U.S. goes, how many states you think you've been to?
So maybe 25 states.
That's a good number, cause cause I've been all the southern ones and some of them. So I guess say give or take maybe 10 or so I've been to. But going back to my earliest trips by myself, because whenever I was single, it just hit me like I ain't gotta I ain't gotta wait on nobody. I would just get on the road. Because I remember one year I drove to Atlanta by myself, and it was a 13-hour drive, and I just wanted to go, and nothing was gonna stop me. So I just got on the road and drove to Atlanta. And what's crazy about that, this how big my family is. I met a cousin in Atlanta, same last name and everything that I didn't even know existed.
Out with them for a little bit.
Yeah, she we still talk to now. Her name is Linda Jackson. And what it is my dad's dad, his people would for whatever reason they just spread out when they got older. So I got family in Georgia, I got family in California, I got family all over the place that I haven't met yet because they just all spread out for some reason. But
That's
yet,
neat though. Like my family is pretty spread out too. But it's always nice when you end up in a state like where they're at or a city that they're at and you can visit and stuff and kind of
uh,
catch up or meet for the first time. So
yeah, it was cool because I I ended up spending the night at her house, and uh, we went to a hookah bar. And this how naive I was. I didn't know exactly how the hookah worked.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I said I didn't know exactly how the hookah worked, so I thought it was like a
Oh, hold on just a second. You're very choppy.
Oh man, is that any better?
Okay, try to talk now.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? No, I think you froze on my end.
It froze on your end.
Yeah, like you're not moving at all.
Oh yeah, you're frozen and you're still choppy a little.
Oh man. Mm, the only thing I could think is
Wait, hear me clearly?
I could hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh wow.
What about everybody else? I don't know if they could hear you
Uh,
or on their end.
but let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna type it as a question. Let's see. I put it as a question. We'll see. Cause somebody's in here right now still viewing. Mm, boo.
Yeah, it got better.
It say it got better.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, you still frozen. Oh,
Oh,
my cousin said she can hear us. Oh, there you go.
okay.
All right. All right, we're back.
All right, good.
Cool. So, I was at. She took me to a hookah lounge. Never been to a hookah lounge before. I've seen hookahs, but I never experienced one. So I thought it was like smoking a cigarette. So I just pulled on a little bit, and nothing really came out. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know you're supposed to like do a deep inhale. So I was in there looking stupid. But yeah, that was my first time doing hookah, and the reason why I remember that night so much, besides the fact it was my first time hanging out with my cousin that didn't know existed, her boyfriend or guy she was talking to at the time, he had a Beamer. This is my first time being in a Beamer, and I was sitting in the front seat, and he didn't tell me, because I'm a old country boy. I wasn't expecting this. Once you go around the corner, the seats hug you.
Really?
Scared the shit out of me. Like it wraps around you. It was super cool, but at the same time I wasn't aware that it was gonna do that.
Uh-huh.
So that I remember that night for that reason too, because it was pretty cool. But yeah, it's they now I can see part of the reason why they cost so much, because that technology that threw me. I didn't know that existed.
I had no idea that existed either. But see, isn't it so fun when you do like a spur of the moment trip and then you just go and then you end up having fun?
Yes, and I miss doing that because now I got so many responsibilities and all that good stuff. But I definitely, I already told my wife for my birthday I want to take a family trip somewhere. It
Yeah.
ain't gotta be super far because we got a little one and all that good stuff. But I want to go somewhere. I miss being on the road because like even I used to catch flights to go see my cousin, and we matter of fact we drove out there to go see him last year. But yeah, I like just catching a flight, just going somewhere. Like this, the world is too big to just be sitting here in the same spot.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's always good to see the world and get to experience new things, different cultures. That's always fun to me, experiencing the different cultures. Like I said, different foods. So and the world is beautiful, believe it or not.
Yeah, and I'm discovering slowly but surely there's a lot of places in Texas that's really nice that I just never been to yet.
I've heard that too.
Cause even over there, have you been over there by Lake Jackson?
No.
The Oasis is the name of the restaurant.
Mm,
If you pull up the Oasis, it looks like you in Mexico.
really?
Like the
Where,
water, huh?
Where's Lake Jackson at?
Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up right quick. I think it's by Austin,
Oh, okay.
the Oasis. And my wife took me there. I forgot what we were out there for, and it was so nice. And like I said, let's see, because the picture I'm gonna show you probably not even gonna do it no justice. But this would it. Let's see, it's not even gonna do it no justice. But
Oh, yeah, before I've seen pictures of that, but I've never been.
oh, it is nice. Like it doesn't feel like you're in Texas.
Hmm.
Like that, like it surprised me.
I
Um,
and I see that like they have a patio, so you can see like the sun setting over the lake, which I bet you is a beautiful view.
it's nice. And there's even I saw I don't remember where it was at. There's even this place where like you know how they have like the white sand and all that.
Hmm.
It looked just like that. It is in Texas too. Like man, there's so many places. Cause I know Texas is big, but like I didn't know there's so many places that I just haven't seen yet. Like there's some rivers and stuff that I want to go visit and stuff too.
Yeah, I've heard about this. I guess it's like a I don't want to say watering hole, but like a hole, just a hole, like almost like a in Mexico they call them cenotes, but it's one like that here in Wimberley, Texas, that you
Mm-hmm.
can go stuff and people have tried to like dive before, but they don't really make it out. So it's
Oh,
not diving, but I mean scuba diving. That's what I meant by diving, scuba
oh,
diving. Um, but it's like a big like hole, natural spring, natural hole, and people go there to go swimming and stuff.
so
So
back up to the people not making it out. Would they drown? What's going on with that?
they run out of oxygen in their scuba tank. They try to dive because it's like 100-foot dive or something like that, and then once you get it to go to the cave part, and then once you get in the cave part, it's so narrow that if you're an experienced scuba diver, you have to control your breathing and all this other stuff. And like most, I wouldn't say most people, but I think I had read somewhere where it was like 15 deaths, and I don't know
Mm,
what it was, but there have been 15 divers that have passed away because they've tried to dive and go into caves and stuff, and they end up losing too much oxygen, losing oxygen out of their tanks and stuff, and they just don't make it back out, or they get
yeah.
stuck. So they get to a point where they get stuck or they get lost in the cave and can't make their way back out. They end up running out of oxygen before they could find where they were, where they came from. So
Nah, that don't sound like a risk I'm trying to take.
no,
Uh,
just if you go, so just swimming. I've heard like going swimming there is nice, but that's it. Don't try to scuba dive or anything like that.
so yeah, I've been whenever I went to Mexico, we saw like the iguanas and the parrots and all that. Like what kind of in your travels, what kind of exotic pets have you seen?
Oh, monkey. Well, pets are animals.
Yeah.
I've seen monkeys and they were vicious. Um,
Mm.
I've seen iguanas as well. Yeah, birds. Trying to think what else. That's all I can think of at the top of my head right now.
I be
Um,
I be I be seeing them videos and stuff with them people in Dubai with their lines and all that. I'm like, nah, I'm good.
no, the same way. I'm not trying to be somebody's lunch, be some animal's lunch right now. So, the wild animals, no, I don't do that. So,
Cause they I guess for them they raised them since they was a baby, so they it's just like a pet to them. But at the same time, he is huge. I've seen him.
and they still will turn on you too. So,
Yeah, all they need is to taste that one drop of blood. It's over with.
hmm, yeah. So, no, I can't do it. I stay away unless they're, you know, unfortunately behind. Like if I'm going to a zoo or whatever, I'll see animals that way. But out in the wild, I haven't. Although I do want to do a excursion in somewhere in one of the countries down in the continent of Africa.
Mm.
Um, Maybe Kenya, or I know South Africa, I believe, has like the outdoor excursions that you can
Mm.
do
Yeah.
in the heaps or whatever. And you can go see like the animals from a distance. They usually do it from a distance, but I wouldn't mind doing that.
So I actually want to go there too one day. Like, have you researched it any, and like how long it'll take to get there, how much it costs, and all that good stuff?
I have researched it before. It's been a couple years. This was like pre-pandemic because I was trying to go during that time, but of course the pandemic happened, so things got pushed out or canceled. But it would be a from New York. It's like a they don't. I don't think they have many direct flights, but you would take a like a 10-hour flight to Germany, somewhere over there, or Amsterdam, and then from there it's another, I think, 10 or 12 hours to South
Mm.
Africa, Cape Town. So a pretty long flight, and as far as hotels and stuff, they're pretty reasonable, about the same as hotels are over here. Um, and that's as far as I got. And I do know, like I said, I do know they have that excursion, but they have many different companies that have those excursions. So I guess it's just one of those things like you can figure it out when you get over there. Maybe book a couple days before. But yeah, it's the flight price was around, I want to say it was like 1400, 14 or 1500 at the time. But I was looking in the, so during that time it's like so right now it's winter down there and up here is summer. So at the
Mm.
time it would have been summer down there, winter up here.
So would that be your longest flight?
Has that been my longest flight?
No, would that be your longest flight?
Yeah, that would be my longest flight. Yeah.
I think the longest I've ever flown was like 3 hours.
Oh, now I have taken. I mean, I've flown longer flight. I mean, I've flown a long flight before. Like I said, when I went over to Asia, but let me be specific. When I went over to Vietnam,
Mm.
so that flight was the first leg was 12 hours, and then it
Mm.
was 4 hours, I believe.
Mm.
Yeah, 3 or 4 hours. And then on the way back, the first leg was 6 hours because I pretty much traveled like around the globe. So I started in Texas, of course, went to California, but I stayed out there a couple days, and then from California to Taiwan, from Taiwan to Vietnam, and then did my traveling over there for a little bit, visiting the different countries and stuff, and then out of Thailand, I flew to uh, was it Doha, Qatar, I believe. And then from there, which was 6 hours, and then from there, I flew into New York. And
Mm.
so notice how it's like kind of around the world. And that one was
Mm.
14. So
Man,
yeah,
I, I don't know. I mean, I could probably do it, but I think I get stir crazy just looking out the window. Like, man, we still ain't there yet. We still, we're still not there yet.
yeah. Now you have to keep in mind those planes are a lot bigger than the average plane that we fly here. These
Mm.
planes have like upstairs, because they're,
Upstairs.
yeah, yeah, where you go up the stairs. And most of that is like in first class, but they they have upstairs. Like the seats they're a little bit bigger in coach. They're a little bit bigger, but not too much bigger. But they're also like it's like four, it's like three, and then you have five in the middle, and then you have three on the other side.
Mm.
That's like one whole row, and then you keep going back. But there's like I feel like there's like I don't know 50 something rows as well. So
Mm.
those planes are really huge. So it actually feels like you're not even like it felt like I wasn't even moving because I didn't feel any turbulence. The whole both legs of the flight, like
Mm.
going. I never felt any turbulence.
Hmm.
Um, and they do make it they try to make it comfortable. It's always best if you could do like business class or first
Hmm.
class, but of course that's kind of pricey. But I always tell people don't shy away from it. If you're going to travel and you really can't afford like first getting into first class or business class, pay for the extra leg room to sit like either in the exit rows or there's always like a gap between like first class and coach. So try
Hmm.
to seats so that way you have like plenty of room, plenty of leg room. You can get up and walk around if you need to. And they're not
Hmm.
gonna stay seated the whole 14 hours.
So
But
I got this from let's see. Oh, almost there. You probably seen one of these before because they do them all the time. But I got this from my last time in California when the guys be doing it on the beach.
oh, the drawings.
Yeah,
That's
those
pretty.
those guys be super talented and like you can tell they do this all the time. But whenever they making it, it just don't look like it's gonna come out the way it does. Like, and I've seen it a few times, but they do stuff like that all the time. So do with that being said, have you seen a lot of street art when you, on your travels?
Yes, I've seen a lot of street art, especially on the beaches and stuff. That's how a lot of locals make their living. Is
Mm-hmm.
if it's a public beach, they can go down there and set up shop. But if it's a um, private beach, like usually owned by the hotel, for example, if you're staying at like a Ryu resort or I don't know Hard Rock Casino resort, whatever. Those beaches are pretty private, so they can't really set up shop right there. But they do set up shop like right outside of there. So if you're walking along the beach and you happen to stop and see them, but yeah, I've seen it a lot.
Yeah,
Even,
I like seeing that because you can tell. I mean, it's they how they make a living, but they also just super talented.
hmm
I like seeing that. Like, I think I like seeing it most because I like creating stuff. Like me and my friend, we came up with this. Let's see.
the logo.
Uh, so we came up with this together. So I gave her the idea, and we just kind of played with it until it came out. So
Yeah.
I just always like creating stuff, and I just found like just thinking about it out loud. Like, man, I'm friends with a lot of people that like creating stuff. Like, I got a friend that like he just like making stuff, and I like he. My thing is he's so excited about it that it makes me excited about it. Like, oh, look what I did now. I was like, all right, cool, man. Like, do you like creating too?
I do like creating. I mean, I do a little bit of like arts and crafts. I guess my arts and crafts comes in like home decor type
Hmm.
thing. Um, if I have to make like some sort of photo album for someone or I don't know, something like that, just like I don't know, crafty things. Um, I used to sew when I was in high school, but I haven't done that in years. Probably
Mm.
back into doing. But yeah, I like doing arts and craft type things. Oh yeah, making wreaths.
Yeah, I have a friend out here. She made us a few reefs. I don't have any in the room with me right now, but I definitely I never really got into them. But I saw this one she's making, and I was like, oh man, I need one of those. And so she's made us a couple of them.
hmm Yeah,
Mm.
it's
Uh,
good.
let's let's see. So I think we already talked about this off air, but the top 10 most visited countries by tourists. Number 10 is United Kingdom, which
Okay.
I never even hear anybody talking about going to United Kingdom, but I guess people do. Uh,
Yeah.
Number 9 is Germany,
Okay.
which you say you've been to Germany.
I haven't been to Germany. I haven't been
No?
anywhere in Europe yet.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Number 8 is Thailand.
yes, I've been there.
Number 7 is Mexico.
Yeah, been there.
Number 6 is Turkey.
I haven't been there.
Number 5 is Italy.
I haven't been there.
Number 4 is China.
Uh, I'm gonna say I haven't, but I mean I passed through there. Passed through there, but haven't. So
Number 3 is United States.
yeah.
Uh, and number 2 is Spain.
Okay. I haven't been
And,
there.
and number 1 is France.
Yeah, I figure Paris.
And
So a lot of European countries on there, which I have not done Europe yet because whenever I do, I want to be gone for like a month. I want to do a European kind of excursion tour and hit
mm,
up different countries. So I do plan to do that one day, hopefully soon.
so do you use a travel agent or you do all this on your own?
I do it all on my own.
Oh, look, let me give you a clap because I don't know what I be doing. I I messed around and caught myself booking a hotel, and this was in the U.S. Man, they had water dripping from the ceiling. The elevator didn't work, and everything. And this is in the U.S. I can imagine how bad I do in another country.
No, I do it all on my own. So if I'm traveling by my if I'm traveling by myself out of the country, I will well, okay, it's kind of a twofold. So I was going to go to Mexico on my own. I've been to Mexico several times, but never on my own. And I was going to do it for my birthday last year, but ended up catching COVID, unfortunately. So
Mm,
I had to cancel. Like literally 2 days before I was supposed to fly out, I had tested positive for COVID, so I could not leave the country. I mean, technically I could leave, but I wouldn't be able to get back into the country. So
mm,
when I did it, I just usually stick to like the resorts, but going overseas to like Europe or Asia, I'll try to use like I guess you call them tour guide companies, which kind of help you with the planning, but um, also throw some of my own like uh, days in there where I can like just kind of travel a city on my own instead of using like them a tour person.
mm,
Um, because it makes it a little. There's things I want to see that might not be on those particular itineraries, so
mm.
I like a mix. But I try to travel with a group um, for the most part when I'm over there, if that makes sense. So I use a company called Intrepid, but there's many different travel companies, and they kind of have itineraries set. You kind of go with a group and stuff, but you can plan stuff before and you can plan stuff afterwards. And so that's what I usually do. So I'll get to the country like early, like maybe a week early, and then um, I'll kind of like navigate or do whatever I want, and then I'll meet up with the group, and then travel with the group, and they'll show me around some more of the country. And then afterwards, depending on where we end up at, I'll stay in that particular country or city for like a couple days afterwards before I fly out, so I can see my own like have time to navigate on my own. So,
There's two questions.
uh huh.
One, my friend Billy, shout out to Billy because I know you're gonna watch this later. Um, he says he likes staying in Airbnbs when he travels so he can get the experience of like the locals and all that. Have you done that?
I have stayed at Airbnbs in the U.S., not out of the country.
Mm,
Uh, Oh, I take that back. In Mexico, I stayed in an Airbnb, which is in Tulum, which is really nice.
mm,
Um, but I, it's kind of a toss up right now because Airbnbs are pretty much the same cost as hotels. So it just
mm,
on what I have going on when I go to that particular city. So if I know I'm going to be um, in a place where it's a little bit where I'm be exploring, um, and I need to be kind of central to everything, I'll try to book like a hotel because most hotels are central to everything. But if I'm in a place where I know, like for example, a beach town, if I know I'm just going to be going to the beach and chilling all day, then I'll book an Airbnb because I won't have anywhere else to go. Like as far as like seeing the city or trying to explore or learning about stuff. So That's kind. I kind of play it by ear. It just really depends on like what I'm going for.
All right. And the second question, because I just know how crazy people are. Like, do you carry mace or anything on you?
No,
No
it's
way.
probably especially since I travel by myself quite a bit. No, I do not carry mace on me.
Oh man, I gotta carry something because I know how crazy people are out here, and especially because like I mean I watch too many movies. I guess I've seen too many people get set up in other countries. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't trust everybody like that.
Yeah, yeah. I have safeguards in place that I do, do. For example, I usually try to use if it's another person that has an iPhone, I usually try to like turn my tracker on so they can track me where I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I probably need to start carrying some type of mace, but I guess you can get it through the airport in your checked luggage, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm checking my luggage, so it's a little bit harder to carry that type of stuff because you can't really carry that on a plane.
Mm-hmm.
That's being on the plane. So um, that's the only thing about that type of stuff. And I like to travel as light as possible, um, especially with everything that's going on now with the airlines being crazy busy and them
Mm-hmm.
luggages. I just don't have time for that. So, but like I said, I do have like safeguards in place like that, and I always give someone my itinerary, my breakdown of where I'll be each day, what hotel I'm at. One important thing that I get is travel insurance, and
Mm-hmm.
I when I do travel out of the country, I do get a pretty like expensive travel package because if anything happens, God forbid I pass away overseas, I want everything to be like taken care of so where my family doesn't have to pay to bring my body back overseas and stuff like that. So, and that's what a lot of people don't really think about when they're traveling overseas, especially if they're doing activities and stuff. But that's just stuff I think about, and I go ahead and I go the extra mile and like pay for it and get it all set up, and then give all the details to whoever needs them. Um, yeah, so like I said, I do have safeguards in place, but
Y'all out there, are y'all listening? Are y'all listening to what she's saying? This is very important. I look this part of the conversation made it all for me. Like, cause like you gotta have this stuff in place because like God forbid something happened to you, but you gotta have safeguards in place because you taking care of you.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
man.
many times where things happen, unfortunate things happen to people's, loved ones, and to get their body back to the United States, it costs so much. Like I don't know if people actually have looked into this before or anything, but it takes a lot. And even let's even if the person didn't like pass away, let's say they get injured and they have a severe like leg injury or a severe, I don't know, gunshot wound or something like that, stab wound. Like you don't want to go to a hospital in a foreign country. You don't want to have them take care of you. Sorry to say, but you don't want them to have them take care of you. So you want like something, a safeguard in place, usually travel insurance, to get you back to the closest place in the United States where you can go to the hospital.
Hmm.
Whether that be New York because you're coming from Europe, or whether that be that's a little bit far fetched, but the Caribbean, I see it happen all the time. Like you want to get back to Miami as quick as possible, so you at least go to the hospital in Miami and have them treat you. But yeah, I always make sure I have stuff like that in place.
And that's good information for not just men and women, children, like anybody that's traveling. You gotta something. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but it's something that you gotta have in place. And like I appreciate you sharing that for people that's listening right now. Like take heed to what she's saying, because like I said, I want to travel, but that's not something that ever crossed my mind to think about. So I'm gonna take that to heart myself.
Yeah, yeah. You have to just think about the activities that you're going to be doing. Like a lot of people like going ATVing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're not a really experienced people here, happy hurt, or people like to go zip lining, or people like to all the you have to think about all those excursions. If you're going to be that active on vacation, just especially in a foreign country, just invest in some travel insurance in case anything happens.
All
So,
right.
and where it has come in handy. So um, when I did go overseas to my first stop was Vietnam, but before I got there, I told y'all I had a layover in Taiwan, and it was supposed to be a like 12, 13 hour layover. Well,
Mm.
got on the flight to from California, made it to Taiwan, and this airliner, the whole staff went on strike. I'm talking about
Oh,
flight attendants, every they all went on strike. And so that means that they're on strike, they weren't flying that plane anywhere.
oh wow.
So you have it was I remember it was close to like 500 people on that plane. So we all deplaned. They told us what was going on. They was like no service. Like their gate agents weren't even working. Didn't even want to work. So they had to get agents from a different airline to come like service us. And then they all spoke Mandarin, I believe, or Taiwanese, maybe. I'm not sure their language over there, Mandarin, I believe. But they I had to scramble to find another flight and book a flight to get to my destination.
So did they
So
give y'all a refund or anything?
they were like, well, I went through my travel insurance. So what I did was I called my travel insurance agent, and she was able to help me navigate and get on another flight. And so I just utilized them to get my refund. Like they were like, oh,
Mm.
you don't worry about the airline, don't worry about getting in contact with them because ain't no telling like when they'll refund you or whatever. We'll go ahead and take care of everything. They were like, do you have your bags? I couldn't find my bags because the baggage people weren't working. They were on strike too.
Oh wow.
So I had to, yes, it was an experience. So I had to like, I thankfully, like I said, I had travel insurance, so they were able to navigate and get me on. I didn't get on a flight till like 9 o'clock that night on a different airliner, and I was supposed to already be in Vietnam like 3 hours before then. So I was supposed to be in Vietnam by like 6. It was like 5 or 6. I didn't get to Vietnam till I don't know, like 10. Yeah, it was around 10 because it was late. Their airport was already closed.
And you was by yourself, huh?
Yes, I was by myself.
It sounded like a nightmare.
But don't let that discourage you from flying. But I'm
I
just saying, like that place.
um, got me chalked up over here because I'm sitting here scared now and I ain't even went nowhere.
Don't let that discourage you. That was like a I've never really actually heard that happening. No one has really had that experience. It just I was just unlucky in that situation and it happened. And nobody wanted to work that day.
Mm.
And I never forget too. I had met it was a guy and his girlfriend at the time, and they were supposed to be going to Bali, and we were all sitting in line or whatever.
Mm.
And girlfriend like went to the restroom. He was like, "Oh my god!" He was like, "I booked this trip and I feel so bad." He was like, "Because I'm supposed to be proposing to her in Bali in a couple days." He had it all set up, and he was like, "I'm so afraid. They're telling me I won't be able to get a flight out for another like 2 days." And that was a lot of case. That was the situation with a lot of people. They had to stay in Taiwan for at least 2 to 3 days to catch the next flight. But
Mm.
lucky because I guess because of the country I was going to, they had flights going there like pretty regularly. But this guy, he was going to Bali to propose to his girlfriend. And he had brought her and stuff, brought her along, and he had to. He was scrambling to like, reschedule everything. He was like, "This is such a like shit show." I don't know if I could, but he was like, "This is such a shit show right now." And so I was like, I feel so bad for you, but I was like, oh my god, that's so romantic. You taking her to Bali to propose. So
Well, what's funny about that is we're supposed to go to Bali on our honeymoon, but
mhm.
we didn't know that the pandemic was coming. So
Oh
we
yeah.
got, because so I don't know if I told you this or not, and this wasn't on purpose, but I proposed on 9/19/19. So, and we got married in June of 2020. Well, was
Mhm.
January or February 2020. Everything was shut down. So we were supposed to go to Bali for our honeymoon. We just never went. We were gonna go eventually, but I never even knew my wife thought about Bali. I was like, Bali? Oh, okay, cool. I guess we're going to Bali. Then the
Yeah.
pandemic happened and there was no Bali.
Oh, you
You
have to
been
go.
to
I
Bali?
got it. No, I
What'd you
haven't.
say?
I've had two close friends though that have gone to Bali without me.
Mm.
I have not been to Bali, and I should have went when I was over there. I didn't realize how like kind of in close proximity I was like to Thailand and stuff, but I didn't. I haven't been yet.
So I'm gonna make sure that we make our trip to Bali eventually. I guess little man have to get bigger for that, but I've never I looked at pictures and looked real nice, but I um never thought about going until she mentioned it.
Yeah.
So um last question, because I don't want to keep you on here forever. How stamped up is your passport?
Um, I would say like so 2020 I didn't get to travel unfortunately, and pretty much part of most of 2021 I didn't get to travel. So I have a passport book of 52 pages. I know you can get like 25 pages, but I got the 52 one. And I would say probably almost half. So maybe like 20 pages are stamped, 15.
That's nice. So
But
I got my one stamp. I got my one stamp when we went on a cruise to Cozumel.
oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So we went to Cozumel, and then our next stop was Progreso, but I think I'm saying that right. And they told us you don't want to leave from away from the tourist area. I said that's enough for me, so I didn't. Then
Really?
what's crazy about that is later that year, I went to a conference at Padre Island. Then the day I got to Padre Island, Progreso was not that far away. They had a shooting at the checkpoint,
Oh,
cartel fight.
oh my God.
So I'm like, I'm glad I listened because if the people on the boat tell you don't want to leave from right here, hey, I'm good. You ain't got to tell me twice.
Well, that is, yes, definitely take heed when people warn you about certain areas. Um, I, uh, for the most part, I try to stick to the tourist areas. Sometimes I tend to wander off, but that's only when I'm in with a group. Let me
Okay.
just preface it by that. Like if I'm by myself, I will not wander too far from the touristy areas. But if I'm with a group, I'll kind of explore. I'll explore.
All right. So to summarize, traveling, um, give me your five most important things you could think of when it comes to traveling. Um, is uh, I won't influence you. Your five most important things when it comes to traveling.
Five most important things. So one, safety,
Mhm.
and insurance. So make sure that like when you are in a different hell, even over in the United States, make sure that you're in you know where you're going and you're in like safe areas. Don't venture too far out. Don't be a daredevil and try to go to I don't know, Compton or something like that. Or California. No, you're not supposed to be there. So, play it safe and definitely get travel insurance to protect you. Um, Not so much as in the U.S., but if you're going overseas or out of the country, get travel insurance. Two, I would say uh, try to pack as light as you can. I know that's hard for a lot of people, but it just makes it easier to travel around. And with how everything is going nowadays, with like I said, with the airports being packed because everybody's wanting to travel now after the pandemic, and they can't keep up with demand. Like a lot of people's luggages have been getting lost and going to into the abyss to never be seen again. So
Mm.
try to pack light and light as possible, but making sure that you take your essentials like your chargers and stuff like that. Three, have fun. Okay,
Mm.
experience the foods, experience the cultures. Don't go to a place and then expect to do American stuff. Or
Just
don't
go there,
don't
eat the McDonald's.
yes, don't go to Paris trying to do American stuff. It's not going to happen. Why even go at that point? Experience the culture there, experience the food, see the sights. Don't be a Debbie Downer. Um,
Mm.
Four. Let's see, what else? Um, oh, I'd say meeting people, talking to people, locals there, or
Mm.
not just other travelers that are traveling from other places. Get to know like people at different historic sites that you go to, restaurants. Um, if you're going to any bars, local bars there, lounges, like get to know people. You'll be amazed at the connections you make and how that even after you leave, like you're still connected to those people, or you still keep in touch with those connections that you made. It's very
Mm.
important. I've met people traveling that I still like, you know, hey girl, what's up? Or they're like, hey girl, what's up to me.
Mm.
So, you know, I think that's like amazing when you meet people elsewhere that live, across the United States or overseas or whatever, and you're still able to connect with them and talk to them on a,
Mm.
um, and then five, let's see. The fifth one, I don't know. I'm just gonna say it again. Have fun, like,
Yeah,
and experience culture.
yeah, that's definitely important. And piggybacking off what you said, I ran into a lady when I was in San Francisco, and she's from Houston. So we became Facebook friends. Like I don't talk to her that often, but every once in a while I see her come up on my timeline. We say something like that. But yeah, it's we just happened to be in San Francisco at the same time, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. When I was in San Francisco, I met a whole bachelorette party, and they were from Houston.
Mm.
We just all ended up on the same bus together, so I kind of like got to hang out with them with their bachelorette party. So that was fun. But
Hmm.
it's stuff like that makes traveling fun. The unexpected.
Yeah. Well, I definitely look forward to seeing more of your adventures out of the country and out of the states and all that good stuff. And hopefully, I could share some of my traveling adventures when I get out the house. So, um,
Yeah.
if y'all hearing the raspy voice I got right now, I got diagnosed with COVID yesterday, so I'm a little out of there. But I also wanted to make this happen because I this is the episode I was looking forward to because I love traveling and I actually want to do like a couple of part series to this because I have one of my friends. We're not related, but my friend Aletha Jackson, she wants to be on here too. And I'm gonna get on with her because she's about to travel to I forget what country, and she wants to tell me the experience when she gets back. So I'm definitely gonna make this a series because I know a lot of people around our age just love to travel and just see new stuff, and it's pretty cool to see their experience.
Yeah, it is. It is. I think, especially when I went to Cuba, oh my God, I loved it out there. So,
I haven't been there yet either. Well, um, like I said, I definitely appreciate you taking the time to hop on here with me. And if you don't know, this is gonna be on Facebook. It's gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be on Anchor. It's gonna be anywhere you can hear podcasts. It's gonna be there. So like I said off air, I didn't realize until today that I have listeners in Brazil. So I mean, it's it's this podcast. It started off just as an idea. Oh, I forgot something. Do you even know where the name came from for this podcast?
Grasshopper's ear. Your grandfather used to. I can't. I think your grandfather.
I did tell you. Yeah,
Yeah.
my
Uh,
dad corrected me. He says my uncle, but I thought it was my great grandfather. He said that I wouldn't stay still as a little child, and I always was running, so he called me a little grasshopper.
yeah.
So grasshopper, and somebody's always venting to me, so that's the ear part. So I just put it together, grasshopper's ear,
Yeah.
and this was my way just to give back because. Um, I don't really get a whole bunch of people reaching out to me, and besides my sisters and them. But I mean, I have a. We can get on here and talk about whatever you need to vent about something, or you have some advice for somebody, or you want to share your experiences like you're doing today. That's what it's here for, and I appreciate you, and I hope everybody got something out of this tonight.
Yes. Well, thank you for having me,
Uh,
and I love to come back if you would have me back. So.
for sure, for sure.
uh,
All right. And my mama chimed in. She did say it was my grandpa. So it was my great grandfather. Or I think it was my great grandfather. I think that's who it was. Say I was always running around and call me a little grasshopper. So I didn't take it as a negative. I stuck. Matter of fact, my what was funny, my grandma Gladys, rest in peace, she would call me grasshopper on the school bus because she was my bus driver.
mhm.
So I would always get teased by it, but I mean it's stuck. And now the only people that call me grasshopper is people that actually know me or people that just want to mess with me about the podcast. So it's
Yeah.
cool.
But I like the name. I mean, I like it. So.
Appreciate you. And it's also a way to pay homage to let's see where I'm from.
Oh, you put. I didn't realize you put your city on there.
Got to, got to represent. And look, this the other side. Let's see.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
So hey, you didn't say nothing. If you want one, you can have one. Whatever color you want, we can make it happen.
Oh, I definitely need to reach out to you then afterwards.
For sure. All right. Well, like I said, I appreciate you again. I hope y'all have a good night and let's give a round of applause for Noel. I appreciate you. All right. Yeah. Have a good night.
All right. Bye.
Bye.